We had to bring our guy in, Cody Decker, Audacy MLB Insider on the Roman guest line. Cody, how you doing today, sir?
Oh, living the dream, baby. We got baseball back. We got spring training taking place. We got a bunch of teams that are going to underperform and piss all you guys off. I love it.
That's what I'm trying to avoid. I haven't placed a lot of totals yet on my win totals yet, and that's why we have you on the phone line. But I want to ask you about the piece of breaking news from today that's most important. Albert Pujols back with the St. Louis Cardinals in spring training to begin the last run for him. What do you make of this news for Albert Pujols and, of course, the St. Louis Cardinals?
The lovely story for Albert. Does nothing for the Cardinals, does nothing for the team. We get to have a nice little stadium tour to run it all down, and the Cardinals are going to finish third in their division.
This edition didn't make you feel compelled to take the over the win total this year? This is just another Albert Pujols chapter, huh?
He's 50. No. Didn't make me want to take a flyer on this team
Hey,
at all.
Tom Brady playing forever. Everybody can do it.
We had Miggy watch all last year, inexplicably. I'm tired of what the old guys can still play a little baseball. Well, Miggy was.
They can, but I'm not saying he can't play and he's not going to put a dent in a few baseballs. But at the end of the day, man, Albert Pujols he's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer, first ballot guy. Him and Yachty are going to go together. Yeah. It's going to be a sweet stadium tour between the two of them. But at the end of the day, they're not a very good team right now. Jack Flaherty is hurt. We don't know what's going to be happening with that. We don't know what this team's actually going to look like. And here's the only thing that gives any Cardinals fans really any sense of hope is the fact that the AL Central sucks.
Yeah, it does stink.
Cardinals 2-1 to win the NL Central right now. Brewers ahead of them at -150. They're the heavy favorites. So, all right, we know obviously Albert Pujols, this is going to be, Cody, about just the final farewell, and everybody celebrate him because everybody's got to have their final farewell tour. That addition doesn't do much for the Cardinals, but what team this offseason do you look at and say they did the most of, oh, okay, that's going to make a difference for them this year? Who improved the most this offseason?
Well, it's two answers, really, and one's in the National League, one is in the American League. And the team that everybody obviously talks about, you can't deny that the New York Mets did not become a juggernaut of a franchise all of a sudden overnight. The addition of Max Scherzer is just through the roof. That offense looks primed and ready to go with some great trades. Another good team to look at in the AL East, of course, Toronto Blue Jays. But those are two teams that everybody's talking about, and not enough people are talking about the AL West. The Seattle Mariners have improved dramatically. And this was a team that only missed the playoffs last year by 2 games in the last week of the season. Yeah. And that was after they traded away Graveman. This is a team that I think is primed and ready to win some ball games this year. And if you're taking a look at the season totals, I would take the over on them.
You take the over on the Seattle Mariners?
Yes, I would.
I like that. And from a good team to a team that's trash, I played the under on the Baltimore Orioles. Now, is that always a good decision? Because I look at this O's team right now, and they are just flat out the Orioles that we've known for the last 5 to 7 years. Their win total was 61.5. Is that a good play on the future or a bad play? You think they win 62 games or under that?
Absolutely no chance in hell they get anywhere near a breathable section of 62 games. If they break 40, I'm going to be blown away by this team, and especially in that division. My God, they're the Baltimore Orioles. You're lucky to call these guys the Norfolk Tides.
You know what? All right, Nick, take it away. I'm about to bet even more money on the under.
Listen, let me tell you something, man. The Orioles are do you see them even making more trades this year too? Like, I could see Baltimore just even selling off like somebody like Trey Mancini. I've heard his name thrown around. Do you see that happening?
They might. I mean, for him, it'd be great because the team could really use a Trey Mancini. And I'd love to see Trey Mancini get a shot at a playoff run or two, but it's just not going to happen in Baltimore, especially not in the next 3 years, not in that division, not the way teams are spending money over there. It's almost tragic because Baltimore's got such a good fan base, but man, this is going to be brutal over there. I don't know. I think Trey Mancini can bring in some picks. This is a team that's hopefully looking to build themselves up in the next 5 years. Them and the Pirates seem to be taking the exact same route, which is uncoincidentally the other least impressive team anywhere near. I mean, it's really sad that we call it Major League Baseball. Is it?
We're joined now by Cody Decker, our Audacy MLB Insider. You can check out this conversation with Cody on our podcast, BetMGM Tonight, Apple, Spotify, Google, and the Audacy app. Cody, of course, there was a lot of movement this offseason with players going here and there. I want to focus on like a group of teams that have made a lot of noise, But what team that has made maybe a lot of acquisitions or a lot of changes that you're just out on? So even though they have brought in some guys to try to make their life easier and try to maybe sell some more tickets, what team is in that category to where you're not quite buying them moving forward, even with some additions?
Texas Rangers. Sorry, not going to be winning this year. I just do not see it happening. I love Simeon. I love the pickup of Seager, but I do think this is a team that's about 3 more pieces away, or pieces that they still need to develop in their minor league system. It's not out of the realm of possibility. And like I already kind of mentioned, the AL West is a little more open than we're used to. I mean, it's not the foregone conclusion that Houston is going to end up winning that division. I mean, they are still the most favored team, but this is not the same Houston Astros team that we are used to looking at. Your A's are gone the absolutely opposite direction. The Angels, if they can stay healthy, is a team that can legitimately compete. They added some arms. We don't know what we're going to get out of Noah Syndergaard, but this is a team that can also win. I like it. I like this division.
You know, I'm looking at the World Series odds right now, and you mentioned the Astros. They're 10-1 at BetMGM. Hey, listen, this is the time to do it now before they change. Astros and Mets both have the second best odds at BetMGM at 10-1. Dodgers are the leader right now at 5-1. The Mets spent money. They have an owner that we knew was going to spend money. Is that actually going to change things this year, though? Because we have these conversations about the Mets before, and then they end up metting at some point towards the end of the season.
This year's the year, isn't it?
All right.
This is the year we actually finally find out if the Mets curse is a real thing. I'm inclined to believe it is. I played for him. I think it's real.
Cody, what about the let's talk about the award races. So I see that, of course, the AL MVP winner right now, Shohei Ohtani, favorite plus 350. But you got Mike Trout 4-1, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. plus 450, Judge down the list, Jose Ramirez. And then, of course, on the National League side, Juan Soto's the favorite. Plus 275. He has not a lot of help right now in Washington. Acuna Jr. there, plus 700. Bryce Harper, 9-1. AL League MVP and National League MVP. Who are some value plays that have kind of piqued your interest? And what do you think about the odds so far as to how they're kind of stacked up at BetMGM at the moment?
You know, looking at Mike Trout is the thing that interests me, because 4-1 on Mike Trout is about as good of odds as you're ever going to see on Mike Trout, because at the end of the day, he is the greatest player who maybe ever lived at one point. But there are a few names out there that I'm really intrigued by. I think taking a flyer out on Kyle Schwarber is a good idea. Kyle Schwarber and Kenny Long together is the greatest combination ever. Every single time they were together, he just rakes, and he's over there in Philly with them. Another name, still in Philly, Nick Castellanos is going to have a monster year in Philly.
He's 30-1 right now at BetMGM. I don't even see Schwarber on here.
I miss Schwarber in a Nats uniform. That was a fun short ride.
Yo, man. Oh, my God.
That was a fun show. By the way,
we were playing the over in his home run prop every single night and winning so much money.
It is difficult to sit here in D.C., just a couple blocks from Nats Park, and look at this Nationals team now near the bottom of the barrel, 100-1 to win the World Series. Times have changed in Washington.
Man, it was so good a few minutes ago. Feels like I was still an intern running through the streets.
I'll take
it's sad. It's sad. Cody, before we get you out of here, I love how you are so connected to the game. You do know the future. And I'm not looking at the Rookie of the Year odds right now. What rookie kind of stands out to you? Because nobody gives the rookies love with baseball being back. We're all talking about the old guys, the pitchers, but nobody gives the young guys love until they already bust on the scene. Any rookie that we should keep our eyes out for as we go ahead and peruse through this list of Rookie of the Year candidates?
There are several, but the one that immediately jumps out, and it's jumping out to everybody, unfortunately, is Bobby Witt Jr. This guy is a stud over in Kansas City. He's going to be a mainstay there. He's going to be possibly a perennial all-star. Another name, I don't know if he's going to get called up at the beginning of the season, but Hunter Green, right-handed pitcher, sits at about 105 miles per hour. The guy is a beast. These are two guys I really think people should be looking out for this season.
Yeah, I like that. I like that, Cody Decker. You good? Cody Decker. Always bringing the heat when it comes to the baseball. Cody, we're doing a show from BetMGM here in Nats Park soon. We would love to have you around and get you acclimated with the amazing lack of attendance at Nats Park this year, because it's not going to be anybody but us three. But at least we're doing the show. So, Cody, please come to Nats Park soon.
Hey, don't you dare threaten me with a good time.
Our guy, Cody Decker, joining us on the Roman Guest Line. Thank you, Cody. Can't wait to talk to you again.
Hey, you're welcome.
God, no, he's dramatic. But it always works. I
That's
never
how
know
you
what
wrap
I'm
it up.
getting.
That's how you wrap it up. You're done.
It's a true
There you go.
curveball. I like it. Cody Decker joins us on the Roman Guest Line. Hey, you're welcome.